From the Heart of the Sun, or The Adventures of Johnny Chance by Daryl Friesen. My name is Dakota Jansen. Chapter 1. The Broke Prospector, British Columbia, 1900. The sun's merciless summer rays beat down on the dusty streets of LIlloeet, where people bustle about trying to make a living in the summer heat. In its heyday, LIlloeet was a bustling town of gold prospectors on their way to the Caribou gold fields, hoping to find the fortune to lead them to a better life. The peak days of the famous Fraser River gold rush were now past, but many prospectors still passed through the town. Some were on their way to the north, and others were still scratching out a living on the bars of the Fraser and Bridge rivers. One of these hopeful prospectors was a fellow named Johnny Chance. He had been sent to the gold fields of British Columbia by his dying uncle, who had told him about a secret placer mine. If he made his way to the Fraser, to Cayush Creek, there was a secret bench containing massive chunks of coarse gold, which his uncle had found when he was part of the original Fraser River gold rush. Johnny's uncle had given him a map to the secret place, which for the past 2 years had been the source of his hope that the future did, in fact, hold some promise for him. But when he finally reached the location of the bench, it had been mined out by other prospectors, and there was not a trace of gold left, leaving Johnny broken in spirit and in the pocketbook. Facing the stark reality that he was about to run out of money, Johnny had finished the last of his rations on the trail 2 nights prior. Feeling the desperation growing within, he made his way down the street, his hand slipping down to the revolver on his side. A growl from Johnny's stomach that had to be dealt with erased any doubt about what would happen next. He opened the doors of the LIlloeet Bank and headed inside. He noticed only one teller at work and that the bank was relatively quiet. A couple of people were waiting in line in front of him. An older gentleman took out a poke full of gold, handing it to the bank teller, who opened the poke and poured the contents on the table, gasping as he stared at several large, coarse chunks of gold. The bank teller weighed the gold on a weigh scale before handing the man the cash. Johnny Chance looked around. No one was in the line anymore. It was his turn to talk to the teller. "What can I do for you, sir?" the bank teller asked with a smile. "Do you have an account with us?" No, sir. I don't have an account," Johnny replied. "However, I would still like to withdraw." Johnny pulled out his dusty old revolver and grabbed the man by his tie, sticking his revolver in the teller's face. His hands shook as he cocked his trusty revolver. "Oh, good Lord, no!" the teller yelled in panic. "Please don't hurt me!" "Don't worry. I don't want to hurt you. I know you are just doing your job. Just give me what you've got, and I will go." The teller handed Johnny a stack of $100 bills and the gold poke the man had just cashed in. "That will do just fine," Johnny Chance said as he turned and rushed out of the bank. The bank teller dived under the counter, hitting a button that set off a bell. He then reached for an old Colt .45, which he had hidden under the counter in case of such emergencies. He cocked the hammer and sat up, but the outlaw had already exited the building. Johnny ran out of the bank as fast as his legs would carry him. He looked around for some way to escape the main street fast. Spotting a majestic black stallion tied up in front of the bank, he untied the horse and jumped on it. That is all. If you want more, please like or comment.